What's up, y'all? I know it's been a minute, so let's get right into it. A lot has happened since the last time I posted, but what's up with you? Let me know in the comments how your holidays were and how the new year has been treating you so far. For me, it's been pretty productive. I know it's been a while since the last time I posted, but a day hasn't gone by without me creating something for y'all to enjoy. I've just been behind the scenes, figuring out how I'm gonna continue my music career and figuring out what my next steps were gonna be, and I couldn't. So I'm starting from scratch. I've been at this for a little over 3 years now, and I've put out a lot of material. Some singles, a few music videos, I even did a whole mixtape. And y'all ain't listening to none of that shit. And mistakes were made. I was making music videos for songs that weren't even popular and putting out new songs before my old songs got any real traction. An obvious no-no for so many reasons I'll get into later. So I took down all my songs and I'm re-releasing them throughout the year, starting with BYT. Here it is in case you forgot what it sounded like, or if you're joining us for the first time and you never heard it.
Not on my level, got diamonds and bezels and not finna settle for Waffle House breakfast and talking through text. I got models who sexy and I wouldn't sex you. You not finna flex like you not getting messy. Just thought you was special to tell you, just like the rest of them. See that I'm on it and get all respectful, but either way, bitch, I'm still hopping in Lexus.
Now this is my debut song, and arguably the one that I'm most known for. But I only pushed it for about 30 days. I even went through the trouble of shooting a music video, and I only posted it once, thinking that it was gonna go viral, and it didn't. And that was very discouraging. That made me want to give up on that song altogether and move on to the next song. But I come to find out the same things were happening over and over again with each song that I released. Some of them got, received a little bit better than others initially, but I hadn't done the due diligence of pushing my song consistently and persistently for 30 to 60 days straight. And when I go down my timeline, I realized that I didn't do that for any of my songs. And I realized that, I made a huge mistake and I did myself a major disservice by not doing that. Reason being, I didn't know how to do a song release properly. And I also didn't understand how important consistency and persistence was and what that would look like as it pertained to my career and my music. Over the years of watching and learning from the people I look up to and some of the professionals in the industry, I think I got it down. It was foolhardy to believe that I could post anything one time and to get the audience that I felt it deserved. What I lacked wasn't talent, it wasn't work ethic, or even consistency for that matter. If anything, I was doing things wrong consistently. What I lacked was structure. What I lacked was planning. What I lacked was a real business strategy. And these are things that you'll get in spades once you join a major label, because all these things without a proper strategy are pretty much dead in the water. I mean, I'm an independent. I don't have, the structure or the same resources that a major label does. Like, they have entire departments dedicated towards your marketing, your branding, image, all of this stuff, your development as an artist. But I'm the independent. I gotta come up with all of these things on my own, which is okay. I don't mind doing the work. I just had to figure out what that work was. And now that I figured out what that work is, I'm committing myself to doing that every single day. You could be the most talented, you could put out the most content, you could do the most work, do the most shows and all that stuff consistently and still not break the cement because you're not doing these things properly or you're not putting these things in the proper context with your career. So these things definitely have a place, and while I was doing all of these things, none of these things were effective in helping me get more followers, get more listeners, secure better opportunities for myself. And after years of this, you'll end up getting discouraged and feeling like you can't even do it at all. And this is why a lot of people never make it in the industry. It's not because they're not talented. It's because they didn't have the forethought to commit themselves to a process that was actually going to be fruitful. So, and a lot of people out here rapping, singing, carrying on and stuff like that, but do they have a proper structure and a proper business plan in place to help them sell records, which is the name of the game? That's the basis of a lot of these rewards and accolades that these artists get is based on their sales. So if you don't have a strategy in place for sales, it's no wonder why a lot of people don't make it, because they're not actually selling their records. They're essentially just giving them away. And this is why it can take years to break, whether you independent or part of a major label. And side note, most labels don't put out new songs until they exhausted all the marketing potential of the old ones. So me putting out more music before the world even heard my first song was doing a disservice, not just to my music, but to my career as a whole. Because why put out more songs when people aren't listening to the first stuff you put out? Why invest more money into a song that hasn't generated a single dollar? It just doesn't make good business sense. So once I took time to learn the business behind it, I was able to restructure and reformat my career and gear it towards more success in the form of marked growth on the social media platforms, on the digital streaming platforms, and on YouTube as well. So what that looks like is creating content like this, all the support content that goes with the release, like just talking about the video, just doing the behind the scenes, the making of the video. These things are things you could do for free before you even perform the song on stage for the first time. And then we got stage performances, then we got interviews, then we got events, you know. So it's and then we just got like your random interactions with your customers or your listeners in this case. So the testimonial, and these are all tenets of sales in any profession, in any industry. You got your product design, you got your product development, and then you got sales, and then after that you got optimization of sales, you know. So what that looks like as an artist is you create a song. I already had a song. BYT was a great song. There was no need for me, of course, keep creating. That's the name of the game, but there's no need for me to continue to release what I had created until they got a good feel of the first song that I put out. You know, and it's okay to keep putting out songs, but you still gotta have something that you pushing consistently so that people can get to know who you are. And I could show y'all better than I could tell y'all, because it takes repetition for things to get locked into the human brain. They got to see you at least 3 times. And they got to see the same piece of advertisement 3 times in order for them to be able to associate you with the sound, with the image, or with the feel. And with music, it's all about how you making these people feel with your music. If you listen to my songs, if you listen to BYT and you don't feel triumphant, like you could do anything that God set before you by the end of that song, then I failed, you know, as a musician, because that's what I wrote that song about. People defying the odds against them and triumphing over the people who doubted them or counted them out, you know. So if you could listen to that song and not feel more empowered by the end of it, then let me know in the comments. I made that song so you can feel more empowered. That's just tapping into the emotional reasons why people will buy your record and stuff, because people are emotional buyers. People don't buy things logically. Why do they buy the food that they choose to eat? Because that makes them feel the best. You know, it makes their, you know, it satisfies them the best, and it's a feeling, it's emotion associated with that. I knew all this back then, but I still chose to put out more music, because by the time BYT actually debuted, I had grown tired of it, and I felt like the song was riddled with negative emotions that I felt like were no longer true to me. I felt like it was going to cast me in a bad light, make it look like I'm jaded or salty about all the things that happened to me. And I was, but once I got over that, I felt like those emotions didn't pertain to me, and I didn't even want to push the song anymore, because I felt like it reflected a negative aspect of my thinking. And it did on one level, but when I was listening to the song again, just going through my catalog and stuff, I was able to tap into the emotions that inspired that song to begin with. It went, yeah, I had felt all of these things, and yeah, these are negative emotions, but I actually made that song when I had got over this stuff, and I became triumphant over these negative emotions, and I chose to go out and become king, come back, and put music out anyway, despite the fact that people weren't messing with me, despite the fact that people weren't trying to hear me for real or cast me to the side or didn't think that I was capable of blowing up in this rap thing. So that's why I did that song, just to spite those people and to prove people wrong, because that's the name of the song, Bitch You Thought Wrong. You feel me? Because if you think just because I'm in a wheelchair I'm not gonna reach the heights of this rap thing, you thought terribly wrong. So that being said, I found new value and that song became relevant to me again. I decided to push it out again. So to revamp it for the audience and the generation and the times that we in, because people got a shortened attention span. I come from an era where songs were at least 4 or 5 minutes long. They had 3 or 4 16-bar verses, and the hook was played sometimes twice before and after the verses, and the whole process took about 5 minutes of your time. Albums were about an hour. Now albums are about 20 minutes, and the average attention span of the person is just decreased down. It's about 10 seconds. So you got about 5 seconds to grab their attention. Instagram and TikTok only give you 60 to keep it. In context of a song as it pertains to music, you don't have time for long intros, repeating the hook and stuff if you're trying to get as much of the song out to the public in that little time window. So you don't have time for long intros. You don't got time to repeat the hook twice. You got to get the whole idea. That first of all, you got to get people hooked within that first 5 seconds, and you got another 5 seconds to get the general idea. If they resonate with that general idea, then you might get them for the rest of the song. And then once you do that, Instagram is going to push you to more people, because more people are watching the entirety of your video, and people think they're being shadow banned. Nah, you're just putting out bad content that people don't want to watch, and they know because they have all your metrics. They can tell how much people are watching, how often people are watching, and how much they actually like it in the form of likes, comments, and shares. So if you're not achieving any of these things, and you're not gearing your content and making your content with the growth of these things in mind, then you're really not going to see growth on any of these platforms. If you don't know how to attract 1,000 views, how you going to get 10? How you going to get 20? How you going to get a million? How you going to go viral? If you, because anybody could go viral by accident, but how do you consistently go viral? How do you consistently stay in these people's face? You know, and that's just a matter of constantly putting out the content and constantly improving your content. And these are things that I wasn't doing because at first I didn't even like social media. You know, it's just my perspective, but we are in a social media driven age, and it would behoove the modern business owner to utilize these tools because 1, they're free. 2, it gives you access to the entire world as far as potential clients, customers, followers, listeners, whatever it is that you're trying to gain. 3, everybody's on their phone anyway. So as it pertains to marketing, these apps got marketing and advertisement suites available to help you get to their audience, or you can expand your audience using those tools. So, and that is content driven. So if you're not making the content supporting your release, then that's a huge reason why people aren't successful in this day and age, because they're not melding with the times. And I had to take time to realize the time that we're in and learn the tools that we have available, because it's technology. Technology is constantly improving. They working on Neuralink. You know, we're going to be in the apps sooner or later. So you just got to stay on the front edge of technology and what's the latest and greatest as far as exposing yourself to the most people. It used to be where you could just go out, you know, and sell your music out the trunk of the car. You still can, but with COVID and stuff, a lot of people not outside no more. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on some type of a screen. So you got to do what you can to maximize your presence on these screens. And here's where consistency comes in, because then you're gonna have to do all the right things for a while. And I wasn't doing the right things for a while, like in terms of creating the content. So with that being said, I took down all my songs, starting from scratch. and I'm re-releasing them throughout the year, starting with BYT. 30 days of consistently dropping new content that's geared towards marketing that song, giving each of them the attention and the proper push that they all deserve. Because all that hard work and money and time that I spent was not finna be wasted on nobody. But if you have been listening to me so far, let me know how long you've been listening and how you got introduced to me or my music. Did I introduce it to you personally, or did you join me on social media, or did you find me through one of the advertisements I might have put out? Did you find me on YouTube? Let me know in the comments. But in any case, however you got here, thanks for rocking with me, and keep on rocking because we got a whole lot more coming. So starting out under the way, we got some old music. I made BYT a little more interesting. I took some time to tidy it up, cleaning up the vocals, shortening it. It was a bit lengthy. Before the first verse came on, the hook played like 2 times. It had an intro, and a lot of people didn't even make it to the first verse before they got bored and turned on to another song. So I had to figure out how I could make the song more enjoyable and more engaging. So I restructured it a little bit. I took the second verse, I threw it in the front because it was the most controversial, most interesting part of it. Goes straight into it with the beat. You are not on my level, got diamonds and bezels, I'm not finna settle for Waffle House breakfast. That's a way better start than you see, boo boo. I'm not your average bear. And you thought I was gonna take it there because I was in this chair. First of all, a lot of people not even gonna get that reference. Let me know in the comments if you got that reference. First of all, it's a reference from Yogi Bear, a cartoon that I didn't even watch as a kid. That was dated when I was a kid. So saying that phrase in 2023, a lot of people just simply not gonna get it. But let me know in the comments if you're watching this. How old are you? Do you know who Yogi the Bear is, and do you get that reference? Do you think it's dated, and should I change it? Let me know in the comments. So I made BYT a little more interesting. It's available on kingcomeback.com. So if you want to hear that, if you ain't heard it yet, or if you already heard it and you want to hear the new version, go ahead and check that out. And let me know in the comments if it's more interesting or not. How much of the song you were able to listen to without turning it off, or if you made it through the whole song. Let me know in the comments. Which one of my songs is your favorite? Because I went ahead and did that with all of my other songs. You know, went back in the mix, tidied up the vocals, restructured them if they needed to be restructured to make them a little more interesting. So now we go straight into the verse, and then it might go back to the beginning, or it might start with the verse and then go straight into the hook. It just depends on how I was feeling, but I would love for y'all to check it out. The first one is on me. So by clicking the link in the description, you'll get access to BYT and all of his content. That's the artwork, that's the lyrics, that's the edited version in case you don't get with profanity, or if you got kids that want to listen to the song and you don't want them to hear all the cussing. I got the edited version. All that's available on kingcomeback.com for free for now. This year coming up, we got a whole lot coming. We got the BYT video being re-released later on this month. Y'all go ahead and show me some love on the audio, and I'll be sure to drop the video once the audio gets, say, 10,000 likes. You know, let's start off small. We're gonna start off small this year. Give me 10,000 likes on the BYT audio, and I'll drop the video right after. But if you're a subscriber to kingcomeback.com, you already have access. And if you want to see the BYT video and all my other videos early, go ahead and subscribe to the mailing list on kingcomeback.com. It's free. Or if you're on Instagram or YouTube, subscribe, and you'll have early and full access to all my music and content. And it's only $1, but that gives you access for the entire year. And yeah, like, I ain't gonna take up too much of your time, and I don't want too much of y'all money. It's 8 billion people on the planet. If I could manage to get $1 from each of them, I'm cool. You know, it's about 1 million people in the city of Atlanta. If I could get $1 from each of them, mission accomplished. You know, I'm working on my first meal, and that's my you know, and that's one of my goals for this year. And that's the things we gotta do as artists, is goal set. We don't have the right goals. We want to sell 1 million records, but we gotta scale that down and reverse engineer that back to how we're gonna get our first 10, how you gonna get your first 100, because by the time you get to 100, you done mastered your ability to talk to people, your sales pitch, and you probably didn't gain some charisma from all the people that you've been talking to. You got more people talking about you now, and that's going to make it easier to get the next 100 or your first 1,000. Once you get that 1,000, that's going to make it easier to get that 10,000, because now you got these 1,000 people talking about you, and that's going to make it easier to get the 10,000. And the 10,000 going to pay the way to the 100,000, and the 100,000 going to pay the way to the million. You just got to order your steps and create a structure that you can climb to the top with. And that's what I spent all this time doing. I know it's been a minute. You know, some people think that you could just dive right into this stuff, you know, quit your job one day and dive right into this the other day. It took a whole lot of work, you know, learning how to use this camera, the green screen, the lighting, the angling, learning how to use this camera, the ISO settings and stuff like that. So I've been working. Y'all ain't seen me on social media, but I definitely been working at bringing y'all a better experience. And let me know in the comments how it looks as it compares to my last video. You could see it here. But I've just been behind the scenes working on various things, improving the mix, improving the sound quality, improving the video quality, because we're in a visual age. It's all content driven. You can't get away with just posting the audio no more. You can't get away with just the artwork and the audio no more. You got to show yourself. You got to give people you, and you got to give people the performances, because that's what everybody else is doing, and it kind of becomes status quo. So you can't allow yourself to fall behind the times. You can't allow yourself to be so different that you're not doing the things that are actually making people successful, because you don't like social media, because you don't like people, or just because you feel like you the shit and you're not subject to the same rules that we gotta play by. And it looks different for everybody, but its main constituents for everybody. It's all about exposure. In a 24-hour period, people probably spend 8 to 12 of those on their phone. If you're not posting every single day, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because there's so much content being flooded into the market and so much music being flooded into the market that if you're not making a stand, or you're not making a post every single day, it's hard to stay relevant within your own following, let alone the world. That being said, I'm gonna be posting every day. I'm gonna be dropping new music just about every week, new freestyles, new free mixes, or I'm gonna be renaming them the King mixes. You know, I got the free mix. I got a whole mixtape out on the demonstration. The demonstration mixtape is out, been out. And you know, I got the free mix series, but I'm thinking about changing it to the King mix. You feel me? Because it's like, it's freestyle, free mix, you know, it's free, it's a remix and it's free, and I'm doing it for free, and it's a remix. So free mix, but it's the King mix, because it's like I take these songs and I make them something completely different. You know what I'm saying? A lot like how Lil Wayne did with the Dedication series. So shout out to him, and that's why, you know, got tongue-tied saying the Dedication, because I made the demonstration, you know, basically to compete with people like Lil Wayne on the Dedication. You know, shout out to Wayne. You one of my role models. Been listening to you since Hot Boys, Block is Hot, Lights Out was some of my favorite albums. The Carter series, of course, Carter 2 is my favorite. You know, and of course the Dedication series, just putting out mass content. And this is why we love Wayne, and why we know Wayne as we do, and why he had some of the best features, if not the best features in the game, is because, you know, he practiced. You know, he did nothing but rap on other people's beats. So that was the practice he had, and that's why his features was just so fire, you know. And not to take away from his original music, because that was fire too. His original content was good too, but it's like, it was something about the Wayne verses. The Wayne verses, boy, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That's probably what he was most known for, you know, outside of his own music, of course. And, you know, being part of the Cash Money, Young Money camp and all that stuff. So shout out to all y'all, because y'all definitely help inspire a lot of my successes and a lot of my stylings as an artist. So thank you. So like I was saying, I did this with all my songs. I shortened some of them, I rearranged others so that they're a little more interesting and easier to listen all the way through. Not that y'all was listening anyway. So I took all my shit back. Sometimes you just gotta start over. Sometimes you gotta go one step back to go several steps forward, and my music wasn't getting the attention or the audience it deserved. And I love my music. I love me. I think it's some of the best music out there. I know it might be some type of bias, but at the end of the day, that's me in them songs. And I love me. I wasn't getting the attention in the audience I felt as though I deserved. And you know, I've just felt like, and a lot of people feel like the world just not messing with them, you know what I mean? The industry is biased, they gatekeeping, they play favorites and stuff like that, but I haven't given myself the push that I deserve. I hadn't pushed the song for 30 to 60 days consistently and faithfully and given the world a chance to pick up on it, because it's 8 billion people on the planet, and it's also just about that many people dropping content every single day throughout the day. So what chance does my video have of going viral if I post it only one time a day for 30, let alone just one time in general? It doesn't stand a chance. And I will not live the rest of my life. I can't allow myself to grow old knowing that my music, my passion, my love hasn't reached the audience that it truly deserved, that it hadn't gotten the attention that it truly deserved. I wasn't gonna die knowing that my music basically hadn't seen the light of day yet. Not on my watch. You know, one of my songs did a little over 100K, but out of 8 billion people on the planet, that's practically nobody. Especially with the influx of new music coming in every single day. I'm being washed in the tide just for the sheer amount of music that people are coming out with. Some people are dropping an album, if not 2, every year, EPs every quarter and stuff like that. I haven't even dropped my first album yet, you know, but you gotta work your way up to that, and I hadn't done that through my first single that I put out, which is BYT, which is why I'm going back. And you know, so I took all my stuff down. It wasn't just BYT, I took all my stuff down just so that I could give them the space that they truly deserve, because I'm dropping songs when BYT is still being pushed. Those songs aren't getting the press and coverage and exposure that they deserve, and these are also great songs. And I wasn't having that, so I took my shit back, because all that hard work and money and time that I spent was not finna be wasted on nobody. But if you have been listening to me so far, let me know how long you've been listening and how you got introduced to me or my music. Did I introduce it to you personally, or did you join me on social media? Did you find me through one of the advertisements I might have put out? Did you find me on YouTube? Let me know in the comments. In any case, thanks for rocking with me so far, and keep on rocking, because we got a whole lot of king shit coming up. As the comeback king himself, I'm always seeking to improve. That means I'm all about the more better, bringing you more better music, more better visual, more better content in general. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that, because it's coming up in the next few videos. And if you hadn't already, make sure you subscribe. It's only $1, and it gives you access to all of my videos, all my songs before they come out on other platforms. If you go over to kingcomeback.com, join the mailing list, and you get to listen to all my songs for free. And you get to pay what you want for my songs if you do like them. Now note this, all the songs on kingcomeback.com do come with the artwork, and they also come with the lyrics, just like how they used to back when we were kids, going to the store to buy music and our tapes and CDs and stuff like that. Because I come from an era where we had to go to the store and travel to get music, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have it delivered to our phones. We didn't even have phones capable of playing stereophonic music. It was more polyphonic, 8-bit, 16-bit music. Like, we didn't have the full audio spectrum on our phone. We had like little beeps and whistles and stuff like that. Like, we all remember them old Nokia phones, and you weren't playing Lil Baby on that. You might have, you know what I'm saying, like the older, some of the newer models, the later models you were able to, but you weren't able to play the whole song, you know what I'm saying, download an entire album onto your phone. That wasn't happening. So we had to go travel to places like Sam Goody, Best Buy, Walmart, when they started selling music, to get our CDs. And that was an experience on its own, because just opening up the packaging, you damn near killed yourself trying to get the CD out the packaging. But once you did, it was a sight to behold, because you was able to, one, listen to your music. You was able to get out that little booklet, and on the booklet it had the cover art, a bunch of photos of the artist or the group. It also had the lyrics, liner notes, or the credits, so you got to know who was involved on the project. So, you know, that was a whole experience, and we got to digest everything about that album a lot of times before we even got back to the house, because Back then, albums were closer to an hour long. We'll be lucky to get 30 minutes from an artist, you know, and that just goes into why I shorten my songs, because, you know, people just don't have the attention span no more. You just gotta hear and be keen on the times that we in. And the times that we in, it's like none of that stuff is prevalent no more. You no longer get the artwork. You see the artwork, but you don't get to have the physical copy of the artwork. You don't get to have the physical copy of the CD, let alone the artwork, credits, and some of the photos that came out with it, you know. So in this digital age, it's a you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's pros and cons. Like, I do appreciate the ease of access of being able to listen to all my favorite artists from my childhood and now on my phone and stuff like that, but I feel like something was taken away from us when they took away physical copies of the music. But you're getting all that and more when you shop with me directly, so make sure you go over to kingcomeback.com, where all the music comes with the artwork, the lyrics, and some of the support content as well. That's going to be what goes on behind the scenes, the making of videos of the songs themselves, and some of the making of the videos that you see. So make sure you go over there to check it out. All of that stuff is put in a nice little package for you to get to nice and easy, so you don't have to go all over my social media pages to get all of this content. You can get it right there from the website, right from the source directly. And I'm gonna be bringing that experience back to y'all in the form of my vinyls. If you're a true fan, you still got a CD player, you can get that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have the vinyls on available on the website. If you're a DJ or if you just like having vinyls, we setting up a party we're gonna do at a record store where I'm signing and giving away the vinyls to BYT, or selling the vinyls and signing the vinyls to the BYT. That's gonna be coming up in the future. We also got a bunch of performances coming up, so stay tuned. Be doing Bonfire and be doing Knockouts. Shout out to X Gang, X Money, and all them. Take Off, EAV, you know what I'm saying, King Fresh, and the great people over there. I'm gonna be blessing y'all stage again soon, so stay tuned for those performances as well. And we got more music coming out. It's February already. Can you believe this month is over? We got more music coming out. Got something special coming up for Valentine's Day. It's something that y'all might have heard already, but I'm re-releasing it for the ladies on Valentine's Day, doing something special. And we got another song coming out next month on the 22nd. So, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure y'all stay tuned. But if y'all want to get access to all this stuff early, along with all the updates and the announcements and the event calendar, make sure you just go over to kingcomeback.com. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list. Like I said, it's free. You'll get all the updates. You'll get a discount to the merchandise. I think it's like a 10 or 15% discount. I gotta check. I'm pretty sure it's 10, but I might raise it to 15 for the first month of the year, or for the first 6 months, I'll have a 15% discount on everything that's on the site. That includes the music, that's the merchandise, and whatever else is for sale. I can't think of anything other than that, but it's 15% off. So make sure you sign up so you can get the discount and you can get the updates. And consider subscribing if you're a fan of the music. If you want to support me, the best way is to buy some merchandise, buy some music. I'm not asking for anything for free. If you want to donate, you just want to see money go in my pocket, you know, my tip jar is available, the GoFundMe is available. A lot of that is going to go towards helping other people with disabilities and survivors of gun violence. So if you want to donate to that cause, you can. I'm going to post the link to the GoFundMe below. Yeah, just stay tuned. I'm excited. You excited? Because I am. And that's another thing. You got to do things that excite you. You know, I'm not gonna wait till I get on these platforms and stuff like that, and wait till I kill these stages and stuff like that to share stuff. I'm gonna be sharing stuff from my just regular day-to-day, you know what I'm saying? Like what most people get in the habit of on social media is just posting their high moments, they peaks and stuff, but it's valleys and peaks in this. So I'm showing you some of the valleys, like some of the low moments when you're just trying to figure things out. People not showing you that. So I got a whole series and a playlist on YouTube dedicated to showing you what that looks like, what this last month and a half actually looked like of me learning how to use the camera, setting up lights, mastering angling, mastering myself, getting used to being in the booth again, and what some of the things look like behind the scenes in terms of the recording and the mixing and the and creating some of the visuals that you see, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be showing y'all all of that. A lot of people, a lot of artists, they just in the habit of sharing their wins, but I'm gonna be sharing you some of my L's too, like how long it actually took for me to produce this video. I was supposed to drop this on the 1st. Let me know in the comments what day it is and how far off target I am, but that's okay, because once you start, you can't stop. And I wanted to make sure that once I started, I mastered the skills enough to where I wasn't going to get burnt out from just learning how to use these things, because that's a process in and of itself. Just learning how to use these things and being good with that and becoming quick with creating content is a process too. That took about a month. It also took about a month for me to learn how to talk to you on camera, looking at the camera, looking at you, so I'm talking to you and not just talking to a script, reading from a script. Like I got a whole script right here that I was reading from at first, and when I was shooting it, it looked like I was reading, and that doesn't make for good content. So just mastering yourself, that is the work that you got to put on. Practice, practice, practice. You know what I'm saying? Even as a rapper, I'm coming to you as a content creator, motivational speaker, educator, all that other stuff, but like I got to practice that, the public speaking aspect, as much as I got to practice my vocality and my musicality in the booth and on stage. My presence in general has to be practiced. And if you're watching this and you've been burnt out or overwhelmed by the sheer amount of skills and stuff that you got to pick up outside of your natural craft, that's part of the process. Don't get discouraged, or don't allow yourself to get burnt out because you're tired of learning new things. You know what I'm saying? It's life. You gotta constantly learn new things just in order to survive. And if you want to survive in this music marketplace, you're gonna have to continuously learn how to use the new tools that are becoming available in the form of AI, in the form of social media, marketing, networking. It's technology. Technology is constantly improving. They working on Neuralink. We're gonna be in the apps sooner or later. So you just got to stay on the front edge of technology and what's the latest and greatest as far as exposing yourself to the most people. It used to be where you could just go out, and sell your music out the trunk of the car. You still can, but with COVID and stuff, a lot of people not outside no more. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody's on some type of a screen. So you got to do what you can to maximize your presence on these screens. Your traditional sales, advertising, and marketing practices. You gotta learn all of these things, and all of these things are gonna be contributors to your success. Like having the natural talent is just half the battle. You gotta be able to facilitate it through the skills and the networking and the community that you're gonna build. And a lot of that has to do with who you are as a person, your ability to connect with people, your ability to resonate, what you have resonating with people. It's not even about the music. Like people will more likely listen to your song or digest your content if they have a direct relationship or connection with you. And once you get enough people to do that, the algorithm is going to do what it does best and push it to more people like them. So you got to do the work, reaching your first 100 people, your first 1,000 people. What if it takes more than that? Are you going to quit at 1,000? You got to be willing to keep going. And before I did any of this stuff, I needed to figure out what that process was going to look like for me, because I could go out and meet 1,000 people face to face, or I could be at the house and meet 1,000 people on social media. Like Instagram limits you at 100 interactions a day. So to get 1,000 people on Instagram, that's going to take about a week or so. It's going to take a couple weeks. But once you do that for a couple weeks, and just like LaRussell said, you treat it like a job for 2 weeks, you're going to get the paycheck associated with that. It's all work-based. It's based on the work that you put in. And you can't be mad that you don't have the following that you want or feel like you deserve if you hadn't worked for it, if you hadn't reached out to so much as 10 new people a day just to get 10 new eyes on your content. You could do this from home in your bed, you know, just reaching out to people on social media, on the different platforms. You know, they got groups and stuff like that, or even just random accounts and stuff. Just show them some love. Like, it's social media. You got to be social, you know, with the media. So it's like going to compliment people on the things that they do. They're more apt to come check you out and what you got going on, because if they're a creator and typically they're not getting that much attention anyway. So any attention, any comment and stuff like that is heavily valued, and I appreciate all the likes and comments that you get. If you've been rocking with me so far, if you've been dropping comments and stuff, I make sure to reply to them, even if they spam accounts. Like, I appreciate the attention. It makes the comment section look thicker, even if I just respond to the bullshit. A lot of people don't like when people be spamming and botting they sections and stuff, but it's like outside looking in, until you go in and you see that it's just bots, it looks like you got a thick comment section, and that makes for better engagement in general, because people mess with popular people. If you're not already jumping, it's hard to, that's just human nature. It's hard for humans to want to jump on that bandwagon if they don't see other people jumping on, because people want to do what's popular. People want to do what other people are doing, because people don't want to be left out. So if they feel like they're being left out on the experience that is you, they're more apt to join, you know, and that takes hundreds, if not thousands of people of doing that. But once you get past your first 100K, I feel like it's a domino effect to get to $1 million. It's only a matter of time. I digress. I'm talking this, ranting at this point, but still excited. You got to find things that excite you in this life. You know what I'm saying? I found things that excite me, even though I haven't been rapping, ain't been dropping no new music and stuff. It's been exciting just learning all of this stuff, like learning the green screen, learning how to produce better videos. And it's been exciting. Every single day I wake up creating, living a life. And I ain't got the money that I want yet by a long shot, but I'm living a life that I want, creating songs, sharing songs with the world, which makes me successful in my book, because that's all I ever wanted to do anyway. To which scale I'm doing it, that's up to me, and how far I push myself, and it's up to you and how far you willing to push yourself. I already explained to you what that work looks like for me, a content creator, artist and stuff, but you got to figure out what that stuff looks like for you, the work that you got to do as it pertains to whatever it is you want to become. But I digress. I'm going back into, creating the experience for y'all. You notice that songs are getting shorter? No, on average the songs are about 3.5 minutes, and I come from an era where songs were about 5, so, and that included 3, if not 4, 16-bar verses. A lot of times the hook got repeated in between those verses, and the whole process took about 4 or 5 minutes. And we don't have that much time to keep people's attention in this day and age. Like, the average human attention span is only 10 seconds. You got 5 to get their attention, and then you got another 5 to keep it, and if they made it past the 10-second mark, typically they'll listen to the rest of it. But even still, like, when you got content pieces that's like 30 seconds long and stuff like that, Instagram gives you like 1.5 minutes, TikTok gives you like 1 minute. You can't waste no time with long intros and playing the hook more than once, and BYT was guilty of both of those things. So I took some time to shorten it, rearrange it so that it starts with the most interesting part being the second verse, going back into the intro, going into the hook, and then the first verse, and then the song goes on like it normally would. And it's just part of your due diligence as an artist, analyzing and paying attention to what the audience is telling you. A lot of people were getting bored listening to it the way that it was. By the time the first verse even came on, the hook didn't play twice. You didn't have to listen to a 30-second intro and stuff, and people are on their phone the whole time wondering when it's gonna get good. So it's like, I drop right in on the verses and stuff. I ain't giving them no time to do none of that stuff. Bitch, you are not on my level. Got diamonds and bezels. I'm not finna settle for Waffle House breakfast and talking text. I got models who sexy and all want to sex me. Straight like that, and then we'll go back to the beginning. Because at this point, I already got their attention. And it's like, okay, they wanted to hear more. But so now I'm gonna give it to them. It's like, we're gonna go back first. I essentially did this with all my songs, and like I said, you can access them on kingcomeback.com, but I took them down because they weren't getting the attention and the listens that I felt like they deserved. So I took it down. I put BYT back up there. It's available on all streaming platforms. Of course, you can get it on King Comeback along with all my other songs that I already put out. And if you go to the early access section, you'll see what I've been working on this past month that I'm gonna be releasing later on in the year. So if you want to get a taste of that, make sure you subscribe to the mailing list. This gives you access to the early access section. And you could join the poll and help me decide what I'm gonna release next. I got about 5 songs on there, and some of them you might have heard. I'm pretty sure a few of them you haven't. But join the poll and let me know which one you like and which one I should consider dropping next. And yeah, there's a whole lot of goodies on the website. We got merchandise, we got music. I'm dropping a motivational series, you know, every day just talking about the ins and outs of being an entrepreneur or being a creative in today's age and economy, and how you could, you know, pave your own way to success. And make sure you check that out. That's gonna be in the playlist right here, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description. But make sure y'all check that out if you ever need some more inspiration, some motivation to help you throughout your day, help you throughout your journey, your career and stuff like that. If you feel like what you're doing now ain't it, but you're trying to translate or transfer your energy into another lifestyle or career even. You know, I talk a lot about that, metaphysics and in the law of attraction, and how you can align yourself with the reality that you want. And it pretty much starts with you deciding what you want that reality to look like. But I'm gonna talk more about that in other videos, so just stay tuned. Those are gonna be coming out when they come out. I'm still working on the scheduling, and yeah, like I said, I'm excited. There's a lot going on. You've been rocking with me so far. I greatly appreciate it. The subscription's available if you are a fan of my music, or if you just want to get so into my life, or contribute towards financial goals that I set out for myself. I greatly appreciate it. It's not necessary. Like I said, I don't want to take up too much of y'all time, take up too much of your money. Subscription is only $1. And with that, it comes with early access to the music, full access to my music videos, a discount on the merchandise, about 15%. And I'm working on how to get y'all the discount codes and stuff like that on, like if you subscribe on Instagram or YouTube, how to make sure y'all actually get the discount codes that y'all could use. But if you sign up on the mailing list, you're gonna have that anyway. So just go ahead and do that. If you subscribe, you paid the $1, whatever, just go ahead and subscribe to the mailing list on the website. You don't have to pay additionally there because it's all free there anyway. But all the same, I appreciate the support and enjoying the kingdom. Welcome. And the proceeds goes towards creating a better listening and viewing experience for you. Ain't got money to spend? That's okay. Me neither. You can still support me for free just by liking, commenting, and sharing videos just like this one. I'll wait. But I got a whole lot of other videos for you to watch, so make sure you go like, comment, and share those. It helps the algorithm push the content towards more people just like you. If you get any value out of this, seeing the behind the scenes, the making of videos and stuff like that, make sure you go watch those and share those with people who might also get a kick out of those. Or if you just want to see what a day in the life of yours truly is like, make sure you go check those out as well. It's quite interesting. There are a lot of different aspects of my existence that go into this. Obviously, one of them is the music. So, I'm gonna be talking about that, the ins and outs of being an independent artist. A lot of y'all realize that I do use a wheelchair, and there's a whole story about that and behind that, so I'm gonna be talking about that more. I'm a little bit older than y'all, so I got a fair amount of experience in the time that I spent as an independent artist, as a man, and human being in general on this planet. So I'm gonna be giving y'all back the game and the knowledge that I picked up over the years in the form of these videos. Y'all can catch some of these in the Rants and Revelation videos that's right here. Or is it here? Still learning YouTube. I think it's right here. I'm pretty sure it's right there. Yeah, it's right there. So make sure y'all go check out the Rants and Revelation videos where I'm dropping gems, dropping a whole lot of game and a lot of insight on life and what it is to be an entrepreneur, independent artist, a YouTuber, a creator in general in today's world and economy. So make sure y'all check that out and drop me some likes and show me some love there. And I'm gonna keep dropping those daily. I know it's been a minute, but like I said in the beginning of the video, a day hasn't gone by that I haven't spent creating. My daily routine is me getting up, working out. I'll shoot a rant and revelation video in tandem with my exercise routine, and just shoot some videos of me doing the stuff that I'm doing around here. Got the time lapses and stuff that pretty much sum up everything that I do in the day. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. That's gonna be on Instagram and TikTok, you know, with all the trending audio. If you're not using trending audio, make sure you're using trending audio with your content. That's gonna help you reach more people and stuff, and just keep dropping the content, creating more content. That's all I've been doing, is creating more content so that y'all can engage with me better, so that y'all can get more of my personality and more insight on my day-to-day living. You know, a lot of people like to show the highs and peaks of their career, but you know, I'm showing y'all a low moment where I'm literally starting from scratch, and y'all gonna watch my journey as I climb the heights of this rap industry and just being an entrepreneur, a successful individual in general. And if you want some more insight and inspiration and motivation, make sure you subscribe so that you can stay tuned to the journey and model some of your path after that, so that you don't have to go through some of the pitfalls and make some of the mistakes that I've made. So here we are, the official re-release and relaunching of King Comeback, also known as King Comeback 2.0. Well, with that being said, thanks for watching. I'm King Comeback, and I'll see y'all.
I'm a king.